Where do we start with that one then? If you don't already know, the final result at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, surprisingly, Tottenham didn't win. It was Spurs 1, Leeds 1. Now, over the last week, even over the last couple of days, to be fair, even more so, all people kept saying to me is, Tottenham will win that, Tottenham will win that. There's even part of me for about 10 minutes yesterday thought, you know what, we might be safe with Arsenal winning that game yesterday. But I was out with my cousin and our friend, and I shook my friend's hand. He's an Arsenal fan. And at that moment, I thought to myself, I guarantee you that I've celebrated Arsenal winning for no reason. But I kept it to myself. The only people that know that is me and God. Because I remember thinking, we ain't going to win that. I was at work today. Everyone's talking about Arsenal done us a favour. This. Trossard's the biggest goal in Tottenham's history that everyone's going on about. And I was sitting there at work saying to people, but why has no one even thought about Tottenham drawing this game or losing it? We don't win at home. We haven't won a game at home all year. Sorry. Why do people think that we're just gonna turn up and beat Leeds, one of the most informed teams in the league, bar none? Only a few weeks ago, they went to Old Trafford, who is another team, Man United, that are in form, and they beat them quite convincingly. But we just thought, we ain't won a game at home in the Premier League for God knows how many months, and we're just going to beat Leeds. People need to understand that we needed to win that game to definitely stay up, because I said to a few people in WhatsApp groups, friends, family, if we draw this game, I guarantee you West Ham get a result against Newcastle. Now, if they draw to Newcastle, it doesn't really matter, because Tottenham's home form is that bad that the only thing I can hinge my hope on is our away form. So if we've got one away game and we've got one home game, and someone told me, I'm not going to tell you who we're playing, I'd be like, well, as long as we can win the away game, sweet. Who have we got away? The one team in the whole league, bar West Ham, that would turn up like a cup final to make sure Tottenham are at their demise. Chelsea Football Club. It feels like, I don't talk to everybody in this world. It's impossible to do that. But it feels like sometimes when I feel that Tottenham ain't going to do stuff, it feels like I'm the only one that thinks it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'll talk to people within our fan base. I'll speak to neutrals. I'll speak to people that don't even like Tottenham, Arsenal fans. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll stay up. But I keep seeing these fine margins where we can really take and make some progress. And we just don't do it. You look at West Ham, for instance, like their home is where they get points. They were unlucky against Arsenal yesterday. Realistically, there should have been a draw. Forget the disallowed goal. They probably deserved a draw regardless. They played within their means and nearly got a result out of the best team in the league at the moment. And even though West Ham are below us, I don't see the fight in our team that West Ham have got. I mean, what they make up for in fight, we make up for in quality. But I just don't see it. You look at today, for instance, we scored that goal, everyone's buzzing, you're thinking, right, at that moment, if De Zerbi could press a button and we turned up after scoring that goal, just like we did against Aston Villa, probably be 2 or 3. But even though De Zerbi's rallying the troops, telling them to push forward, you can tell they're all sitting off because they're all nervous, because they're like, hold up a minute, we need to defend this lead. De Zerbi couldn't do nothing about that. The fans were cheering them on. They couldn't do nothing about that. I've seen West Ham lose games, but I've seen them lose 3-0 to Brentford, and I thought they actually played all right though. They lost to Arsenal. They actually played all right though. I mean, today, what was it? Did we do well? We've got players in our team that they just don't get it, man. Like, I'm not even chatting rubbish. If I had the same fitness levels and athleticism as Kolo Muani, right now, I could easily play for Tottenham then. Because some of the decisions that he makes, some of the end product and stuff, I'm not sitting there saying I'm a world-class player or anything like that, but I just know Tottenham fans would be happier with me on the right wing with that athleticism than him. I'm not even glorifying myself. That's telling you how bad he is. Someone paid 70 million for this guy once, and I don't want to tarnish him because there is certain players in the squad that I don't feel are good enough. You know, I like Tell. He's the only player that we've got that will take someone on. But what's the point of having Tell when he can do what he did and then just think, yeah, I'm just going to do an overhead kick in my own box? I've always played Sunday League, Pub League. I've had a couple of high-level games. You just know full well, if you're looking up in the air, don't do an overhead kick, because all it takes is for someone to take the chance. It's a penalty, and he did it as if he's trying to score a goal. You know, sometimes you look at the players and you think to yourself, well, do they realise the seriousness of what we're in? You don't do things like that. I was taught as a youngster and even as an adult, when the ball's like that, try and win the header, because if you win the header, you'll get the foul, because someone else trying to win the header is going to foul you. And if you don't win the header, all they're going to do is win the header. Is he going to score a header from 12 yards out? No. But you decided to do an overhead kick and we've lost points from that. You know, we're just not good enough. You know, De Zerbi's a top coach and probably finding it hard. You know, we're probably blessed in the fact that we've got a manager that's at least getting a tune out of the players. You know, if there's one player that I'm going to commend today that you wouldn't think to a few weeks ago, was probably Kingsley. You know, made a great save. He's got that composure at the back. You know, when he's got the ball at his feet, he's like having another centre half. And he probably is going to be one for the future, which I didn't think I'd say a month ago. Pedro Porro showed a bit of fight, but sometimes I wonder whether it's real fight or it's fake. You know, Paulinho and Bentancur will always do the dogging, you know, the dog fight in midfield. But when you're in the ascendancy, do you really want them on the pitch? Lucas Bergvall, sorry, has just been thrown to what, I don't know. I don't even know. You know, Thomas Frank has convinced every manager we've had since him that Lucas Bergvall can play on the left, can play on the right, can play number 10. It's so obvious that the guy's a number 8. Like, he could do, on some days, a better job than what Conor Gallagher was doing today. You know, even the commentators were gassing up Conor Gallagher, but, you know, he's been on top form. He's had one good game against Aston Villa, and he's a very good game. He's not back, is he? But, you know, I'm going to kind of end it with a prediction. I'm sure you can tell by my face, I don't feel confident we're going to stay up. I felt that if we'd won, West Ham would have got beat. But I looked at Newcastle yesterday, and I felt that if they'd won that game, they had a slim chance of getting into the European places. They would have needed to beat West Ham. But as soon as Nottingham Forest drew, I was like, Newcastle are going to be the reason why we go down. Like, obviously, we're the main reason because we've been crap for the whole season. But I generally feel that Newcastle are going to drop points to West Ham. Whether it be a draw or a win, I don't know. And then we're going to go to Stamford Bridge. The whole of the country is going to be watching that, hoping that Chelsea do a job on us, and they will. I've already said in this little run that we've had that you might as well write off Chelsea and do, you know, say that's 3 points we're not going to get. So if we're going to do that, are we going to go to Everton at home and beat them? David Moyes doing West Ham a favour? Leeds will be on the beach by then. They won't be on the beach now, but I guarantee they'll be on the beach for that day. It'll be a party atmosphere at the London Stadium, knowing that if Leeds do West Ham a favour, Tottenham will go down. The only hope I've got is us beating Chelsea, because we won't beat Everton at home. We don't win at home. So anybody that wants to disagree with me, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll never agree with you that we're going to win our last home game, because we don't win at home. And this is what I kept saying at work all day to people I was talking to. We don't win at home, so why do you think we're going to win? Prove them wrong again. I want to be proved wrong. Why can't this team just prove me wrong once in the blue moon? I mean, the only time in recent times they've proved me wrong, Aston Villa. But then even then, I thought with Aston Villa, with the predicament they're in the Europa League, they're just going to rest everybody, not really care about it, and we'll probably win it. Wolves are already down, maybe. These are games that we should be winning, and we made a hard dog fight of it. So, I mean, if you generally think Tottenham are staying up, like, share, subscribe, share it out, do all of that. But my instinct is quite scary, and I just get the feeling that that's Tottenham down, because we're spending too many times this season where we're asking for favours, even from our most deadliest rivals in Arsenal. So when you're begging for favours from other teams because you can't get yourself out of the crap, there's only one thing. And like they say, if it looks like relegation, smells like relegation, to me it's relegation. Come on, you Spurs.